Welcome to the South Ops Fire Weather Webcast for Thursday, November 21st. I'm your host, Kristen Stewart. As we check out the water vapor satellite imagery this morning, you'll notice it looks very similar to yesterday. That's because not much has changed in the past 24 hours. High pressure continues to build over the desert southwest, and that strong Pacific storm continues to spin off the Pacific Northwest coast. As a result, the atmospheric river directed into Northern California has not been able to move, and it continues to dump significant precipitation over our northern neighbors. The atmospheric river will continue to remain parked through today, and eventually it will move south into Central California later tomorrow once the high pressure over the southwest weakens and shifts east. As Northern California continues to be hammered by rain, Southern California is a whole different story. As high pressure remains in control, very dry air has settled over the southern part of the state. Check out these current relative humidity values. Several spots in the higher terrain are currently in the single digits for RH. There are also a lot of areas that are only as high as the 30% range. You can definitely tell there were extremely poor to even non-existent overnight recoveries last night. For today, very dry conditions will remain in place for Southern California, with minimum humidities remaining in the single digits and teens. Humidity should start to improve for Central California, though. As high pressure weakens on Friday, humidity will start to improve dramatically along the coast and across Central California, but much of Southern California will remain very dry. Widespread poor overnight recoveries are expected again tonight across Southern California. Then recoveries will significantly improve Friday night. Winds will remain mostly light for most of the region through Friday, preventing any significant fire weather issues. Breezier onshore winds will be likely along the northern portion of the Central Coast near the Bay Area, and there will also be gusty south to west winds of 20 to 40 miles an hour with gusts to 60 miles an hour along and east of the Sierra Crest, which may bring some isolated areas of critical fire weather conditions. As high pressure continues to build over the desert southwest, temperatures will continue to be on the rise today, with highs near to a little above normal. Highs for Central California valleys will range from the upper 60s to low 70s, and the Southern California valleys will rise into the mid to upper 70s, maybe even 80 degrees in some warmer spots. Similar temperatures will continue for Friday before cooling returns this weekend. Now let's talk precipitation for the upcoming days. The atmospheric river, taking aim at Northern California, will likely stay parked there through the first half of Friday. This system will end up dropping significant to even extreme amounts of precipitation to our neighbors to the north this week, leading to significant flooding impacts. The majority of our region will be dry today, though light precipitation may make it as far south as Yosemite National Park. The atmospheric river will eventually shift southward into Central California by Friday evening, and this weekend into Southern California, though it will significantly weaken as it does so. Points north will dry out as we get later into the weekend. There will be additional disturbances moving into the region that will bring additional periods of precipitation early next week, and possibly even into late week as well. There is very low consensus in the model projections as we get into the middle of next week, so the timing and location of additional precipitation remains uncertain. There remains a good amount of confidence that much of next week will remain on the wetter side. As is typical with these weather systems, there remains considerable spread in the model solutions, especially as we get into next week. This means there is plenty of uncertainty when it comes to precipitation totals from this wet period. However, there has been consistency in rainfall total projections through the middle of next week from blending multiple model solutions together. These projections indicate, on average, around 0.5 to 1.5 inches of rainfall for coasts and valleys, 1 to 3 inches for the Southern California foothills and mountains, and 3 to 6 inches or more across the Sierra. We have been talking this week that there is uncertainty as to the southern extent of the most significant precipitation, as it would have an impact on how the fire season will look moving forward. At this time, confidence is increasing that totals sharply drop off south and east of LA County. These numbers are likely to change in the coming days, especially as we get better confidence in the forecast for next week. Snow levels will start out high, above 8,000 feet on Friday, lowering to 6,500 to 7,000 feet this weekend, and will likely stay as low as 7,000 feet into next week. Significant snowfall is expected for the higher peaks of the Sierra. Large fire potential will increase a little the next couple days, with warm and very dry conditions in place, but winds will remain light, keeping fire potential low overall. For this weekend into next week, the upcoming wet pattern will bring beneficial moisture to the region, bringing fire potential back down to more negligible levels. However, there still remains some uncertainty on the southern extent of significant precipitation and how much will fall over Southern California, which will have implications on the future of the fire season. As usual, we will continue to monitor things, so stay tuned to the forecast. And that's all I have for today. Thanks for tuning in. Our next webcast will be Friday, November 22nd. Have a fantastic day.